A very good morning to one and all. Let us see Internet of Things Part 4. I am Mrs. Varsha Kiran Patil, EC Department of AISSMS IOIT. In Internet of Things Part 4, let us see what is meant by data acquisition system, its role, block diagram of data acquisition systems, transducers, signal conditioning, and overview of storage and display devices. As well as we are visiting two applications of data acquisition and relevance of it to Internet of Things. So what are the first things? That is nothing but we will see DAC, that is data acquisition system, its role, block diagram, transducer, signal conditioning, overview of storage and display devices. So let us go further, but before going further, we have to see what is the background that we have studied in the series, that is 1 to 3. So in the series, we have seen that for Internet of Things, whatever the signals are captured by transducers are given to microcontroller, and from microcontroller via gateway and Wi-Fi it has to be sent to server, and from server it has to given to the customer end. So for this it is required, that is things are to be connected to network, and here heterogeneous technologies can come together, and it can be a distributed system. So things work together to form that is a network and ensure that proper functioning is done. So for that we are having TCP IP protocol for the networking. In case of gateway, it is a device that connects the network and internet. The internet is providing, that is nothing but interconnection from, that is servers to gateway. So this is the background for previous lectures. Now let us say how IoT ecosystem is at physical level. So at physical layer, we are having such a system in which we are having the connection of all the devices towards microcontroller. So microcontroller is acting as a heart which is powered by power supply. Sensors and actuators are connected to microcontroller so that they will work as per the instructions given by microcontroller. Microcontroller is communicating with the nodes and gateway, and it is nothing but the ecosystem works on that battery operated power. Now we have to take into consideration for microcontroller there is a memory, and in that memory all the codes, all the that is instructions and OS implementation is done inside the, that is memory. So this is the physical layer IoT ecosystem. Now in case of physical layer, the important term is data acquisition system. What is meant by data acquisition system? Data acquisition system is classic application of instrumentation, sensor, signal conditioning, and microcontroller to display devices. And in case of this, that is industrial control, test, measurement, it is used for taking the inputs and giving it to the processing unit, which may be PC, which may be data acquisition system can given to the, that is processing unit like PLC, SCADA, etc. Why to use data acquisition systems? The purpose of any data acquisition system is to gather the useful measurement data for characterization, monitoring, and control. So what are the specific parameters that your application requires is nothing but to take the reading with the help of resolution, accuracy, and all other things. So for that, the data acquisition system has particular properties like channel count, speed requirement, and resolution, etc. So this is nothing but about what is meant by data acquisition system. That is nothing but acquiring data via sensors towards the microcontroller and processing it with signal conditioning unit. So this system can be seen as physical systems are coming giving the signals, that is nothing but it is analog signals like pressure, temperature, vibration, force, etc., towards the signal conditioning. And from signal conditioning, AD converter is there, and we get the output that is towards the computer. So operations that are useful for matching the transducer level towards the AD converter are nothing but we have to make scaling, amplification, linearization, cold junction compensation, filtering, attenuation, excitation, common cold rejection, and so on. So these all things will have signal conditioning units, and that signal conditioning units will make the data as per requirement. One of the best example of signal conditioning is instrumentation amplifier, where instrumentation amplifiers gain can be adjusted and precise gain adjustment can be done. So this is one of the important that is best chosen signal conditioning circuit. Second circuit is nothing but multiplexer, where many to one, that is we want to select only one input out of n number of inputs, then we are using that is multiplexer. So these outputs can be given to ADC, and that is nothing but we have to have the some of the times actuators which will actuate the process control equipment for pneumatic, hydraulic, or electrical power. So, what are the requirements of that is our data acquisition system? For requirements of data acquisition system, we have to take into consideration there are the transducer, signal conditioning, and microcontroller, as well as real-time clock is there. Again, second requirement is that external memory for storage, that is EEPROM, SD card, USB is required. And whatever the things are taken into consideration, they have to show on output. So we require LCD, which is 7 segment or printed with that is some printers. We can have that output that can be printed, or thermal printed should be there. So these are the requirements, that is hardware requirements for building a DAC. Now, what are the types of DAC? Depending upon display, it can be 7 segment or any other kind of thing, like LCD display, etc. In case of storage and memory, DAC can have low storage or that is large storage. If we are going for DAC that is type, that is wireless, then it can be classified into wireless DAC can be classified into single node and multi-node systems, data acquisition systems. So these kind of classifications can be done, and we can have the where it is actually used. So applications of DAC are in chemical industry, blood bank, in monitoring industry, in testing industry, and for weather monitoring, and so on. In case of industry, it is very important to take the data from that is transducers. So these kind of readings can be seen in the that is industries that we can see. So these are the references. From these references, that is some of the books written by me. The slides are taken. Thank you very much. These are the some of the data acquisition systems that are designed by our students in AISSMS IOIT. Thank you very much. So what is the takeaway from this lecture? The takeaway from this lecture is we have seen data acquisition system and its role. Then we have seen block diagram of data acquisition system. Then what is meant by transducer and signal conditioning, some common signals conditioning circuits like multiplexer, then instrumentation amplifier are seen. And then we have seen overview of storage and display devices. Lastly, we have seen applications of the that is data acquisition system, and how these data acquisition systems are that is created by our students, that also we have seen. Thank you very much. This was our summary, that is nothing but all the objectives of data acquisition system and its applications we have seen in this lecture. And thank you very much for joining this lecture. in the series of Internet of Things.